what I do during lectures when I'm usually sitting for 2, 3 or 4 hours at a time, I find it particularly helpful in relieving the pain. When I'm in class or lecture, or when I've been sitting down for a while, there's an exercise I like to do to relieve my back pain. First of all, I check whether my posture's aligned, so I move my shoulders back and make sure my back doesn't feel exaggerated. And then I bring up one of my knees, so this exercise I'll bring up my left knee and I'll push down with my left hand, but not too much because I don't want to cause too much stress on my back. And once again, make sure that my shoulders are in the right position, and then I'll hold down and move slowly down towards my knee and hold for 5 seconds, and hopefully I can feel the stretch in the back of my back, just following down the bottom of my spine, and then I'll move back up again, and that should have relieved some of the tension.
Hi, my name's Gordon. I've been suffering from chronic back pain for about 2 years plus now. The best advice I could probably give you, or somebody suffering from back pain, is try and plan basically everything you do. A trip to the shops, try and make it when it's quieter. Anything you're doing, basically you have to understand what position you're going to be in and how you actually do things as you do them in general day to day. It could be, as I say, something like going to the shops, or something as simple as having a drink. Try and have a table close to you so you're not reaching onto the floor. Anything that causes you to overextend your spine or anything could cause you to flare up or increase the back pain to some degree. As I say, something as simple as having a table beside you. That way you're not reaching to the floor for things.
Yeah, my name's Josie, and I've got a few things that really help me to manage my condition. One of them, the most important without a doubt, is the stretching, which I can do for up to an hour at a time, and I have to do several times a week and really keep a check on the fact that I'm doing it. And one thing that really helps with that is this thing, the stretching band I use all the time and carry around with me quite a bit. A lot of the exercises really help me, but some in particular I would like to show you, and hopefully they'll be able to help you as well. So with using the stretching band, you use it in quite a few different ways, but I'll show you a couple of the best stretches I do. It just helps to make the stretches a lot more intense, so you have to be very calm and do them very slowly. You never break a sweat when I'm doing these kind of stretches at all. So what I'm doing here is just putting a lot of more pull on both of my arms, and this one's a neck stretch, so it really helps to ease the pain in my neck, this one. You've got to be careful to breathe slowly and calmly and deeply at the same time, and try to time things. Time your breathing and your stretching so that you're doing them at the same time. So it just goes like that, and you're pulling your my left shoulder down so to intensify the stretch. And breathing in and breathing out, and doing the same on the other side. And I might do sort of 5 or 6 repetitions of that. It's not an over and over kind of thing, but it's the quality with which you do the stretches that's really important. So I'm trying to hold my abdominals in, and thinking about keeping my feet firmly on the floor at the same time as I'm doing it. So I find I sometimes do up to an hour of different stretches like this, ones for my legs as well, even though my legs aren't really in pain, but they get affected when your back is constantly sore. So, and I find if I've been doing these kind of stretches, I usually do them before I go out, for example, because then I won't be sitting wriggling in my trying to chat to somebody all night. Instead of that, I'll be able to sit calmly because I'm getting the pain relief from doing the stretching. I'll show you this one. This is another one that I do for my shoulders. My shoulders are quite an area of discomfort. So again, it's really breathing slowly, thinking about your stance and holding your stomach in, and trying to do the stretches with quality movements, because that's the most important thing rather than the number of repetitions. So here I'm just pulling my shoulder blades down in a V right into the middle of my back, breathing at the same time, and just really carefully thinking about my body as I'm doing it. It took me quite a while to be able to do this when I had no mobility in my right arm in particular, and it was painful. It's painful to do these stretches initially. You always think, I shouldn't be doing this, this is adding more pain. But what happens with me is I can be in fairly high levels of pain after a day at work, sit at a computer, And if I do this, I'll find that there's huge pain relief for hours afterwards, and sometimes well into the next day. And it just really enables me to think about the people I'm sitting talking to, as opposed to sitting thinking about the amount of pain I'm in all the time. It just gives me that little bit of freedom and a little bit of breathing space. So that's one for your shoulders. And there are quite a few different ones you can do, all different types of stretches you can do with the band. And these suit my particular back problem, but any kind of stretching I found has really, really, really helped with any kind of pain management.
Hi, I'm Alan. I've suffered severe back pain for quite a while. Two things to show you which really helped me. First exercise is, this is a back stretch. I had severe pain in my back apart from the other one, and this exercise really helps. It's just, you can feel it actually stretching your spine as you're going down here, and I found it excellent. 6 weeks ago I could hardly move. Now I'm walking always. This is really, really good one. You just automatically keep your head tucked in and you can actually feel it stretching your lower back.
So Alan, there's a bit of a checklist we want to run through before we start this exercise. So you're going to be on your all fours, so you're on your hands and knees. What you need to remember is to just keep your hands slightly closer together.
Right.
Okay, and remember that we wanted to make the knees nice and wide, so they're outside the line of your hands. That's you. And then you'll find your neutral starting point here. Okay, and then you can just rock back over your heels. So if you want to just do that now, you can just rock back over your heels, keep your head tucked in, and as you come back you can start to stretch your arms out in front of you. So you can just move your arms, slide them up, that's it. And then just come back to the start.
If I had any advice to give about back pain, it would be that it is difficult and it is something you have to acknowledge, but if it was someone my age I was meeting, I would point out that you're at a transitional stage as it is, and it's just something you have to get used to, and you can use to your advantage, and you can use to, work it into your life and live with it.
Back pain, don't take it lying down. Get help. It's well worth it.
So the stretching's become a huge part of my routine, and it's something I do really regularly now, just to keep myself physically well. But I find it's really important to combine that with the relaxation CDs, which sort of keep you calm and peaceful and more able to cope with living with a pain condition. So I think for me it's been a case of trying to become slightly more self-disciplined and prioritise those things in my life and make sure that I do them, because that's been the most valuable thing for me in getting my life back after having developed this pain condition.
Final piece of advice: do your physio, go to occupational therapy, do your exercises every day. That's the only thing that is going to help, is doing it on a regular basis and continuing. But at the end of the day, be positive. I mean, I swim, I can't run, I can't cycle for any great length of time, but I can swim. I do that 2 or 3 times a week. As I've said before, this isn't the end of your life, it's just a change in direction. So be positive if you can.
Hello, I'm Jones Physio. If you want to do this exercise properly, do Jones' way.